Hello and welcome to another edition of Currently in Quincy. I'm Joe Catalano. Today we learn all about Maria Drost Counseling Services' upcoming Music for Mental Health fundraiser later on this month. We'll meet two members of the staff. First, though, as always, we take a look at the weather and the news for you. Currently in Quincy, cloudy out there. It's 50 degrees. It's about how it's going to stay today. Mostly cloudy. A few peaks of sunshine. Won't get much warmer than it is right now, though. A high about 50. Chilly this evening under cloudy skies. Lows drop off into the mid-40s. Tomorrow could start out kind of damp with some morning showers. But then the sun breaks through and the temperatures will climb tomorrow into the upper 60s. Don't be fooled. The bottom falls out tomorrow night. Temperatures will plummet into the upper 30s. That leads us to a sunny but a brisk day on Wednesday with highs only into the mid-40s and more showers, kind of a cold, rainy Thursday with highs Thursday again only in the mid-40s. Overcast, 50 degrees in Quincy right now. Checking news for you today, the Quincy City Clerk's office is busy getting ready for tomorrow's citywide election. Polls will be open tomorrow from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. for in-person voting. The City Clerk, Nicole Crispo, says every effort's being made to ensure that voting goes smoothly.
There should be plenty of parking. We'll have signs out at our new polling locations, letting people know where you enter the building and things like that. We'll have signs on the old places, the KSC door saying you now vote at North Quincy High on the Hunt Street side, things like that. We'll help people as much as we can. And if certainly you have any questions at all, please call our department 617-376-1142. 43 and 44. The election department is, taking all kinds of calls all the time. They're there all the time.
Now today at noontime is the last day and hour to request an absentee ballot for tomorrow's election. Early voting wrapped up this past Friday, and mail-in ballots must be received at City Hall by tomorrow at 8 p.m. There is a ballot drop box located outside City Hall. There are races this year for mayor, for the Wards 2, 4, and 6 city council seats, and for 3 school committee seats. There will be no classes for Quincy Public Schools tomorrow due to the election, and QATV will have live election night coverage beginning tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. Interfaith Social Services of Quincy is making an urgent appeal for some monetary donations after their monthly supply of food was cut in half recently. Executive Director Rick Doan says a staffing shortage at the Food Distribution Center is impacting food pantries across eastern Massachusetts at a time when they're seeing unprecedented demand for help from their food pantry.
We need help. The biggest thing we need help with is buying food. One of the questions that I am frequently asked is, what food do you need the most? The same thing that we all go out to the store to get when there's going to be a snowstorm, milk and eggs. This is what clients want the most. So that's what we're asking people to donate. We're not asking people to go out to the supermarket and buy milk and eggs. We're asking them to become monthly donors. We're asking you to become a monthly donor. If you give $5 each month, it will allow us to source a dozen eggs and a gallon of milk for a family in need here on the South Shore. If you're able to help with $10, that allows us to source 2 dozen eggs and 2 gallons of milk, and so on. We are hoping that people will be generous and that they will contribute for several families each month. But if you can only contribute for one family, that $5 honestly makes a difference. By becoming that monthly donor, we'll have that coming in because we don't know when we're going to be getting our regular allotment of food back.
Doan says they're providing food for over 1,400 South Shore families every month and spending thousands of dollars more than budgeted each week due to the reduction in their food deliveries. He says a donor has agreed to match donations up to $5,000. A Revere man's facing charges that he was driving around Quincy with a loaded gun and drugs in his car. Police stopped 37-year-old Mukunda Najmika at the Furnace Brook Rotary last Tuesday because he was using a handheld cell phone while driving. Officers quickly learned he was wanted for a gun offense, and they recovered a loaded black Smith & Wesson 9mm handgun in the vehicle, for which Najmika did not have a license. Officers also seized steroids for which he did not have a prescription. Najmika was arraigned on multiple firearms and drug offenses in Quincy District Court last Wednesday. There's a new mental health counseling agency in Quincy. Northeast Health Services has opened a new location in Quincy. Last week, Quincy Mayor Thomas Koch and Quincy Chamber of Commerce President Tim Cahill joined officials from Northeast Health Services to cut the ribbon, officially opening their new location on the 9th floor of 100 Hancock Street in North Quincy. The company says they're expanding their footprint due to the rising need for mental health counseling services in the wake of the pandemic. The Quincy location marks the company's 23rd office in Massachusetts. The for-profit organization is a member of Transformations Care Network. Now, City of Quincy began marking Veterans Day this year with a ceremony yesterday at the Flags for Veterans Island at Ford Square in Quincy Center. Keynote speaker, retired Marine Corps veteran Mark Connolly of Quincy, said yesterday's ceremony had special meaning for one local veteran who recently died.
This year's Veterans Day observance is dedicated to the memory of Guy Ferris, who we lost unexpectedly last month. Guy was the longtime master of ceremony here, as you've heard, because he loved this ceremony. And he always volunteered to help arrange with the placement of these flags. For many of us, we'll miss Guy's gentle encouragement, thoughtful praise, and sincere gratitude for contributing to this observance that he loved so much. Each year, the Veterans Day National Committee publishes a commemorative Veterans Day poster and adopts a unique theme. This year's poster shows a lone bugler playing taps below the colors of our nation, and the theme for Veterans Day 2023 is simply service. Of course, veterans are naturally proud of their military service because there's honor in serving to protect our way of life. The Morissette Post family, the Post 294 Legion members, the Women's Auxiliary, and the Sons of the Legion, Squadron 294, truly exemplify this service theme.
Quincy's annual Veterans Day Parade will be held this Saturday beginning at 10:30, stepping off behind Quincy High School, traveling along Hancock Street to the World War II Memorial at Southern Artery and Hancock Street for an 11:30 ceremony. It's our check of news for you today. Coming up, Maria Drost Counseling Services here in Quincy preparing for their Music for Mental Health fundraiser. We'll learn all about it next. Welcome back. The folks at Maria Drost Counseling Services here in Quincy preparing for their Music for Mental Health fundraisers coming up Friday night, November 17th at the Break Rock Brewing Company out of Marina Bay here in Quincy. So we have two new faces for you from Maria Drost to talk about it today. So please welcome Megan Earl and Kelly Banks. Ladies, good to have you both here. Thanks for coming over.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun to learn about your story, how you came to Maria Drost, and then, of course, about the big fundraiser coming up. But Kelly, you are a relatively new development director, right?
I am,
Yeah.
yes. So I started with Maria Drost in May, the beginning of May. So it's been a great experience so far. I've loved, getting to know everybody and really understanding the mission. So I'm very grateful to be here, yeah.
So tell us a bit about yourself, where you were from, where did you go to school, where did you work prior, and
Sure.
How did you find Maria Drost?
Absolutely. So prior to being at Maria Drost, I was at the American Cancer Society for about 10 years.
Wow.
I went to Johnson & Wales for my undergrad and then Providence College for my master's. And I, came to Maria Drost a little bit by fate, I would say. I wasn't, didn't really know much about Maria Drost, but my family has a history with mental health. And we lost my dad to suicide about 12 years ago. So I've really understood the mission and having access to mental health care and how important it is, especially, since the pandemic, we've really seen an increased need. So finding, this connection with one of the board members and being able to talk with Mike and share who I am and why I felt like I was a great, addition to the Maria Drost team. And here I am, and I'm very excited to be here and to really share, my passion for access to mental health care, and ensuring that everybody who needs it is able to find the help and the counseling that they need.
Sure. Mike Shanahan, you mentioned the
Shanahan,
director
yes.
at Maria Drost.
Yes.
Yeah. So development director is the title. So what does that entail, Kelly?
Yeah, so it is the first time Maria Drost has had an official development director position, which is really exciting because everything else as far as fundraising, since we are a nonprofit, was really, on the shoulders of everybody else at the agency, which, they're doing a lot of great work as far as
they're kind of busy
seeing
already,
people.
right?
They're a little busy,
Yeah.
yeah. So I'm hoping to come into this role and bring more awareness to our mission and how important it is, and really help raise the funds that are needed to, offset the cost if someone can't afford services or if they don't have health insurance, just to make sure that there's never a gap in their care. And so I'm really excited to, find partners and find people who are engaged in that mission and really want to see a change and help remove that stigma that is around mental health.
Right, and also remove the obstacles of finances,
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Financial, especially, the time that we live in right now, finances can be a real strain for people. And a lot of times that's when people need the most support.
Right, yeah. Was the background similar at the American Cancer Society? Is that what you were doing?
Yes,
as well?
yeah. So I did development with American Cancer Society in the Massachusetts area over time. So I really, understand how to work with communities and really make everybody feel like they're a part of making a difference.
Right, sure. Well, you've got a community-based organization
Yes.
to start with, right?
Absolutely.
At Maria Drost, yeah.
Yes.
So it's an easy sell.
Absolutely. It's been amazing to see how much the community really cares
Is that
about Maria Drost and our mission. So I'm excited to continue that on.
Yeah, that's good to hear.
Yes.
You were here for the fashion fundraiser back in the
Yes.
springtime.
I was.
Yeah.
I was really glad I started about a week before our fashion fundraiser, which was really great to see the outpouring and the packed room that we had in that at the event when I first started. So I got to see the passion firsthand from almost day one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But your baby is coming up.
It is.
Music for
yes.
Mental Health. It is Friday, November 17th, 5 p.m. at the Break Rock Brewing Company.
It is,
out of Marina
yes.
Bay, yeah. So
Yes.
you put this together, right?
I did.
Yeah, so
I put
tell me
this
about it.
together,
Yeah.
in talking with the staff, really trying to find opportunities to really connect with a lot of different audiences as far as mental health and understanding, what people are looking for and how they want to support.
Yeah.
So we have Megan, who
Yes.
is part of the band Molly Maguires, who has agreed to perform at this event
Wow.
and be our musical act. So I'm really excited to be able to put this into motion as one of my first events with Maria Drost and really connect with a new or existing audience as far as mental health.
Yeah, I think a new audience
Yeah.
in some regards.
It's going to be
for sure.
very different from our fashion show.
Yeah, no question. Just the venue alone, at a
Exactly.
brewery
Yes.
is going to be a little
Yes.
different. But Megan, you're a therapist at Maria Drost, right?
Yes, yes.
But but by night, you're
Yes.
the singing therapist.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I joined Maria Drost Counseling back in September of 2016.
Oh, okay.
I was at BC for my master's, and I found Maria Drost through one of their programs looking for an internship, actually.
I see, okay.
So I only ended up applying to 2 internships. Maria Dross was one. I interviewed with Mike, our executive director, and kind of knew this is where I wanted to be.
That was a fit, huh? Yeah.
And once I was accepted, I did my whole year of my internship, and I was lucky enough to stay on, and here I am almost 7 years later still.
Wow.
Yeah.
And has it been everything you hoped to?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I had a lot of friends who are therapists. Obviously, going to therapy school, you
Yes.
kind of make a lot of colleagues within the field. Part of the thing that I love to brag about to my friends who are therapists is that at Maria Dross, because of our mission, if I have a client who changes insurance or loses their insurance, I don't have to terminate our therapeutic relationship with them. So I've been lucky enough to have some of my clients for 5 or 6 years through ups and downs in their lives.
Yes.
And some of the clients that we end up waiving fees when they get back on their feet end
Yep.
up being some of our donors. So it's
Is
nice
that
to
right?
see that full
Yeah.
circle moment happen. Yeah.
How important is that to have continuity in therapy, for our clients?
I think it's really ethically relevant.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand that, as therapists, we still have to make an income, so I
Yeah.
don't blame any therapists who aren't able to have that flexibility, but for me, it's the major draw for Maria Dross is we're providing therapy services to some people who otherwise wouldn't have access to them.
And that's the mission.
And that
right?
really, it is
Yeah.
the mission, and that coming to therapy never has to be stressful. I've had some clients come in like, I'm behind, like I don't know if I have my copay, and it's like, okay, well, let's talk about that. Let's use our sliding fee scale. Let's come up with a solution so that
Because they're stressed out about that.
they're
right?
already stressed
Yeah.
out about that. So for us to meet them with just compassion and caring, and
Yeah.
therapy to be that place where they can put all those burdens down is very, very important to
Yeah.
me. So I feel very lucky
Yeah,
to be where I am.
It really is. The mission is a holistic mission. It's to look at the whole person,
Absolutely.
right? Not
Yep.
just that one individual. They may come in with one issue and not even be aware that they have other issues.
Oh, yeah,
you know,
underlying
that
things.
comes out through therapy. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So good for you for doing that.
Thank you.
But let's hear about the other side of your life, Molly McGuire's.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Molly McGuire's is a band that I joined right before the pandemic.
Okay.
So my guitar player and a songwriter, JJ, and I went to college together at Framingham State University.
Oh.
We had played some music back then. And about fall of 2019, he approached me saying, I wrote an album, do you want to sing on it? We recorded and we released an album, and then the pandemic hit. But we've since recorded 2 other albums, and we play a lot down mostly in like the Rhode Island area.
Okay.
He's based out of Westerly, so a lot of stuff in Providence, a little bit in the Boston area here and
Okay.
there. But when I found out we had the opportunity to do a new kind of fundraiser, I kind of volunteered myself in my band to
Yes.
say,
Did you check with them first?
well, the guys are they're a great group of guys
Okay.
too. They understand mental health. They know what I do. They have to put up with me being in the band with them. So coming to them with this, they're really excited about
That's
it.
great.
Mental health has been affecting a lot of them in different ways as well. So, and I'm always bragging about my job. So they're kind of excited to come meet everyone, come get a taste of what this is like, and we've learned a lot of new cover songs to be able to put this event on. So we're very excited.
Wow, okay. So did you have any musical training or background or just a passion for it?
Yeah, I mean, it's since I was little. We can unearth some very embarrassing videos
Oh,
of me
yeah,
as
let's-
a 3-year-old singing, but I always loved music, so I was involved in choir from a very early
Okay.
age, musical theater, and I was in my first band when I was 16 years old, so
Oh,
I've
right,
always been
okay.
into more of like the rock kind of music,
Sure.
and that just kept on through college. That's how I had met JJ, and continues today. So for me, and a big thing I talk about with my clients is having an outlet, having regular self-care scheduled into your week.
Okay.
So I can never ask my clients to do something that I'm not going to do myself. So part of my self-care regimen is going to band practice, songwriting, listening to music. And I think music specifically connects so many people because it's a language unto itself. And you can have people who know a lot about music and love it, people who hardly know anything about music and love it. And if 2 people can connect over a song because it means something similar to you, it kind
Sure.
of can bridge the gap, I think, a little bit.
Okay. Any original music for this particular fundraiser?
For this fundraiser,
Yeah.
we're focusing mostly on covers. We may
Okay.
slip maybe 1 or 2 original songs in, but we really wanted to focus on music to bring people together, songs that were kind of mutually known, so that everyone can maybe dance, let loose,
Yeah.
and have a good time.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
From the name, I'm guessing is it Irish based or Irish themed?
So my guitar player JJ is Irish.
Okay.
I'm not. A lot of people hear Molly Maguires and think I am Molly
Oh,
Maguire.
really? Oh, that's funny. Okay.
But I'm not. And the name is actually based on, I think it was like a political movement back in like the early 1900s or
Oh.
late 1800s of people who were kind of being oppressed and needed to make a name for themselves. But I'm not the historian on that,
Okay.
so
All right.
JJ would be the person to fill in.
Okay. How many members in the band?
So it depends,
Oh.
actually.
Okay.
Most of the time we have about 5 people in the band.
Okay.
So myself, JJ who sings and plays guitar, Jesse who plays guitar, Jason who's kind of our utilitarian man. He plays horn, guitar, piano. He would play triangle, I think, if we asked
Okay.
him to. Nate plays bass, and we usually have Sean playing drums. But I actually have a dear friend of mine from a different band, Jimmy Capello, who's filling in on drums for us for this
Oh,
event.
very nice. Okay.
Yeah.
So I mean, this is obviously something that means a lot to them.
It does,
Yeah.
and it means a lot to me because it's kind of like the two halves
Your
of
two
my
worlds
lives
are
coming
merging.
together. Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. Interesting. Do you use music in your therapy sessions?
So I'm not a musical therapist. I have
Oh.
a couple of friends who do actual like music
Really?
therapy,
Okay.
which is a whole specificity onto
I
itself.
didn't know. Okay.
But it's something that I've definitely spoken with my clients a lot about music. When we're making sometimes coping skills lists,
Mm-hmm.
music's something I usually ask about because it can be something that's passive. You're just listening to it. It's kind of brightening your mood or helping you change your headspace, or it can be something that's active. I have a couple clients who have said, oh, maybe I want to start learning guitar, or maybe want to learn piano, and I say, why not?
Encourage
It's a
them.
wonderful outlet to
Yeah.
have, yeah.
Okay, all right. So sometimes all it takes is somebody to make that suggestion to
Yeah.
push them to that next step.
And then you're checking in. Did you follow up and make that guitar lesson appointment?
Yes, yes. All right, so you'll be singing at the fundraiser.
Yes, I will.
Fantastic. Kelly, let's talk a little bit about what will be happening that actual evening. So again, it's November 17th, starts at 5 o'clock
Yes.
at Break Rock Brewing. It's out of Marina Bay for folks who aren't aware. So how do folks get there? What do they do when they get there? And what's going to be happening when they arrive?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's at Break Rock Brewing Company. We're really excited because it's an opportunity for us to be at a venue that can accommodate a band, but then can also, have a small function, but have other people come. So we're hoping to, we have people that are coming to our event that's, more private, but also other people that hopefully we can share mental health information about what we do
Okay.
and connect with them a little bit more. It's at, like you said, in Marina Bay. There's parking behind the building.
Okay.
There's also a few lots around the area. It's accessible by train, by car. So we're hoping to, a Friday evening, 5 to 8. You don't feel like you need to stay out too late, so you can have a good time, listen to some covers. It's open to all ages, so
Okay.
if you have kids and you wanted to come, or anybody is welcome.
Okay, so there'll be non-alcoholic beverages
Yeah,
as
so
well.
there'll
Okay.
be non-alcoholic beverages
Okay.
as well. So it's a cash bar. They serve non-alcoholic and alcoholic beverages, and they also have like hard seltzers too, as well as their beer.
Okay.
We'll have some light food for everybody that is included in your ticket price.
Super.
As well as you'll get a door prize or a ticket for a door prize that you could possibly win. We'll have some fun raffles with some gift cards to different restaurants and other fun items. Nothing as much as our fashion show, but we'll have a selection for everybody. And the music is going to be our main
Yes,
event.
of course,
So
yeah.
it's a great way for, I think, people to feel like they can socialize, but also be able to enjoy the music and not feel the pressure of coming to an event and needing to socialize with other people. They can really enjoy themselves.
Okay, well, it's it's a rather intimate setting
Yes.
to see live music, which is a very different experience than seeing it in a kind of a stadium
Yes,
setting.
yes.
So I mean, probably Megan be able to interact with the band members in between sets, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
It'll be a lot of fun. Kelly, is the funds raised from this particular event going to anything specific at Maria Drost, or just kind of general operating?
Funds raised will go to general needs within Maria Drost. So, right now we really have a need for the increase of, people coming to get mental health services. So that really is going to offset the cost, especially I think leading into the holidays. It's really helpful for people to know that they have a place to come, whether they need a sliding fee scale or another situation, we can accommodate them. So raising these funds is really important for us to
Sure.
be able to help offset that for people.
Yeah, and I know you need more therapists, right?
Absolutely,
To meet
yes.
that increasing
Yeah.
demands.
Yeah, we're currently looking for more licensed therapists, actually.
Okay.
It'd be absolutely lovely. We just added a new suite of offices on our 3rd floor, so we are up to 13 offices, which is
Okay.
lovely. So we can accommodate slightly larger staff now, and it's really in response to the need that we're seeing, especially with the holidays coming up. For a lot of people, holidays are really lovely times. For other people, holidays can kind of bring up some difficult memories
Absolutely.
or difficult family dynamics. So
Yeah.
we want to make sure we're ready and available.
Sure, absolutely. Main website, best place to go to purchase tickets?
Yes,
Okay.
mariadrostcounseling.com.
Okay, very good. They are $50 and available, I'm guessing, right up until the event itself?
Yes, we'd love to have everybody.
All right. Thank you both. Really appreciate the time to talk with you and to hear your story, and I wish you the best at the events and in your futures.
Yes,
Thank you so
for having
much.
us.
Very
Thank you.
welcome. Just enough time to take a look at the weather forecast for you for the rest of the day today. Kind of what you see out there is what you get. Clouds and cool temperatures, right around 50 degrees for a high this afternoon. The rain will hold off until late, probably after midnight tonight, actually, with lows in the mid-40s. The rain will linger into tomorrow morning, but then we'll see some sunshine. Temperatures will spike briefly into the upper 60s and then plummet to the lower 30s by tomorrow night. And we're back to fall-like weather for Wednesday and Thursday with daytime highs only in the mid-40s. Thanks again to Megan Earl and Kelly Banks for joining us from Maria Drost Counseling. Thanks to our crew. Thank you for watching. We're off here on Friday for Veterans Day. Join us next Monday. We'll learn about the recent $2 million renovation project that took place at the Blue Hill Weather Observatory in Milton. Meantime, head to our website anytime, qatv.org. All of our latest programs are there. There's news and information, election information, video on demand, live streaming, and much more. For all of us here at QATV, I'm Joe Catalano. Have a great week.